is up, everyone? Thank you all so much for checking out the third and final part of my series, The Path to PR. So I guess that means we're at destinations. All cheesy jokes aside, in the first two parts of this series, I broke down why I was running the Ed Coan Deadlift Program, as well as a little bit of history about this program and who it's been used for in the past. So if you haven't checked out those first two videos, I would highly recommend it so you have a little bit of context for what's going down here in this video. And I think I'm gonna link those down in the description or right here and right here. Let's hope that paid off. I guess I do need to provide a little bit of context in that this video will cover weeks 5 through 10 of the program. We're gonna focus on what I did well, and then maybe a little bit of what I need to work on too. And also, I want to approach this program from an exercise science standpoint, kind of evaluate what I think of it, what it does well, and what I think it kind of lacks. Of course, if you learn anything from this video, I would really appreciate you hitting that like button. And then, depending on the size of the screen that you're viewing this on, just look about 2 inches to your right, and you'll see that subscribe button. Please consider hitting that button as well, because it really helps me grow. And then if you look 1 centimeter to the right of that button, you'll see a little bell. Click that bell. Really helps me grow. Guys, I'm kind of rededicating myself to this YouTube grind. It's been very fun to try new things. As you can see, I got this new lighting set up. I'm feeling a little bit professional here, so I really appreciate all that support, and those things go so far in helping me grow this channel. All right. Enough of all that, let's lift. Week 5, we have 3x3 at 80% here. Overall, this moved really light. And you know, the only thing that I see myself working on is the fact that my chest is a little bit forward when I'm hitting these lifts. Someone that you can see that has great positioning is Yuri Belkin, and it's my goal to strive to be more like that, right? Then I have some back off work, another 3x3 at 65%, which is 275 pounds on the bar. This moves like butter, but once again, positions aren't looking great. So I knew I had work to do at that moment. Moving on to another clip of 275. Yeah, you can see I slowly work on my positions, but overall, I think just practicing sumo was one thing that really helped me get more comfortable. And overall, my positioning was just slightly off, so I knew that something wasn't quite right.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
You can see I made an Instagram reel for this video, and it shows exactly how I took some of that information about my positioning and applied it. So wedging and then pulling the slack out of the bar is one way that you all can really optimize your positions for sumo. I think about driving my hips into the bar before it even moves up off the ground, and then also making sure my chest is as vertical as possible. And that's gonna, 1, cut down on your range of motion, but 2, just set you up to be able to break that weight off the floor a little better as well. So in this clip, I have 355 or 85% on the bar for a set of 2. And overall, I feel like this moved like butter. This was when I was beginning to be more confident in my sumo and my positioning. You can see from this side angle, my shoulders are pretty much in line with the bar. Still something I'm working on to this day, but it's made a lot of progress. And then of course, I had some back down work, sets of 3 at 295, and these are moving quite well. The one thing that I will say about this program is sometimes I found the back down work was a little bit tedious. Like, I didn't really know what it was trying to accomplish. And I know that there's something to be said for accumulating volume, and it's all well and good to work on your form this way, but I feel like it might have been able to be accomplished in other ways. That's personally how I would program. But with all that being said, there's nothing wrong with doing back down work. I just felt like it did get a little bit tedious at times. In week 7, I hit 90% of the 1 rep max for a set of 2. I was back at the other gym that only has the strict power bar, so that kind of threw a wrench in things. But as you see this clip rolling, this weight still moved like butter. I did belt up because it felt a little heavier while I was warming up, but still no issues there. And week 7 was when I became to be really confident. Here you can see me hitting some back down work with 315. The weight was just flying up at this point, and I had in the back of my mind just a number that I was going to strive for. I think it's important to note that up until this point, I hadn't hit any deadlifts above 400 pounds since February of 2020. And this was done in like October. So as I was getting more toward the 90-95% range, I was a little nervous. And here you can see me working with 405 for a set of 2 in week 8. I did belt up, but this weight still flew. And that's the point where I knew, like, just trust the process. This really is gonna pay off. And I think it really did pay off in a big way there. Week 9, everything just continued to build, and we had 425. You know, here I am setting that hook grip. Big fan of the hook grip, never missed the deadlift. Right here you can see, and I'm gonna play this back. Right here you can see that my starting position is still a little bit suboptimal. And I think that's because I was simply standing with too narrow of a stance. I've always been a pretty narrow stance deadlifter where my shins are right at the rings, but this was the point where I knew, hey, maybe I can start working my way up, and that would help me get into a better starting position. The weight flew up regardless, so I knew next week I had to send it full send at 500. You already saw this clip at the beginning. I didn't get 500. It moved pretty well off the floor, but right at that knee level, it just started to break down. I actually hitched the weight, so that would have been red lights in the competition. I'll take it as a gym PR because I did lock it out, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really count. So I want to talk about what I'm doing now to kind of mitigate that miss at the knee and work toward being able to really hit 500, maybe even 510 at the meet in December. So what I'm doing now are pause deadlifts at the knee, only using maybe 70% of that 500, but I'm making sure that I own that position around the knee and then I can drive through it. I think these pause deadlifts are really gonna go a long way in helping me be able to hit knee PRs. I briefly talked about some of the cons of this program where I felt like the back down work was a little tedious, but I do want to quickly hit on the pros. I think this program does a great job of kind of effectively modulating volume and intensity. So of course, your intensity or the amount of weight on the bar, it linearly increases. That's the only way you're going to be able to work toward a new PR. But I really like how this program backs off the volume and then increases it in certain stages, right? So I believe around 85 to 90, it goes down from hitting 3 sets of 3 to just 1 set of 2 when you get to the heavier weight. If you're constantly trying to grind out reps at that heavy weight, your body's gonna break down, you're not gonna be able to recover as effectively, and you might even be risking injury. It really does tiptoe that fine line of training intensity balance. So I really do appreciate that about this program, and I think like it was definitely ahead of its time for being developed in like the 90s. Overall, guys, I would definitely recommend the Ed Coan Deadlift Program, and I might even make like my edited version of it. Not that I compare to the GOAT of powerlifting, but if you're interested in that, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you've run the Ed Coan Deadlift Program in the past, let me know what your results were down in the comments as well. Once again, guys, please subscribe, hit that notifications bell, hit me with a like if you liked my analysis of this program. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.